Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Since 1971, that is a family-owned business. Great Better Business Bureau rating. Anything you could possibly think of to say, yeah, I really want to use those guys. Well, they've got it. And I know that because I use these guys. They come out and they take care of my home. Let them take care of your home. SoutheastTermite.com is where you can go to learn more about all of their services, whether you're needing a quarterly service, a monthly deal, or just a one-time deal. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right. Welcome back. Jacob Gillum, Will Overstreet, Bobby Scott, Daniel Hood. Time for Twitter questions. First one, will Tennessee go 4-0 to finish the season?
I think they should. There's no reason in the world why they shouldn't be able to beat these four teams.
All right. Missouri's got one of the best defenses in the SEC, and you've never had success against it.
That's the toughest game you have left. Every other game you should definitely win, but the Missouri game is kind of your one game of where you're going to prove yourself to get that eighth win.
Did Carolina spook anybody with the fact they went to Texas A&M? And you're only going to have 2 games of tape on Sean Elliott as Sean Elliott's coach. They go to A&M, lose by 7, 35-28. Does that change anybody's opinion of Carolina?
No.
Okay. All right. No. Well, all right. So 4-0, 4-0, 4-0.
4-0 with, again, Missouri being the hardest game. That's where you're going to see. I think this team's hitting a stride, so I think it'll be 4-0. I don't think that we can lose that game, but that's the only one that we have a chance of not coming up.
All right. Well, let me put up a graphic here just to remind people, just some smelling salts. To quote Han Solo, don't get cocky, kid. Last year, you see there's Tennessee's schedule. Last year, Tennessee whipped Kentucky 50-16. Then lost at home to Missouri 29-21, and then wound up in a dogfight against Vanderbilt. I think you always get Vanderbilt's best effort because that's their Super Bowl. Missouri's defense, solid. Matty Mauks tends to give Tennessee more trouble than anybody else he faces. I'm not willing to go 4-0 at this point. I still think there's reason to be a little bit more tepid. What are you going to go then? 3-1.
Who's the
I
one?
said 7-5. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I think there's another loss.
That's
North Texas?
Well, no, that's not a good pick. No, just to look at this team and say I still think they have a loss in them. Will, you agreed with that last week that you still thought they had another loss in them?
I did.
You've changed it now to Kentucky?
Because I thought Kentucky was going to be the one they were going to slip up on.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I still think they've got another loss in them somewhere. And again, as I said last week, prove me wrong. All right. Speaking of the Mosley call earlier, and the Duke-Miami game, which ended on crazy calls. There was another bad target call in the Florida-Georgia game. Twitterer wants to know, are officials getting worse?
I think without a doubt. I don't know how they could get worse.
I think they need to be liable.
I think
well,
so
they
too.
are. They could be fired at the end of the year. I mean, it's not like they have lifetime jobs.
Fire them in the middle of the
Can
year.
they be suspended?
I just think
they can be.
They need some type of open, critique to where everyone knows what they're talking about on them, because it just seems like no one knows and no one's going to come out and say anything about it. And we get the excuse, well, we can't say anything. We don't want fans to go crazy and say something.
Right.
The NFL doesn't, and you don't see anything too crazy there.
No, the NFL doesn't publish their grades at the end of a
They
publish
publish
a
grade,
grade,
but they say they
suspend them.
made a mistake.
Yeah, they
say they made a mistake
Yeah.
and they suspend them. And so why not do it in college? Because
Well, I think the worst thing is just you have instant replay, and you can sit there and watch it from home, and that guy can't still make the right call. So I understand bang, bang play. You
Yes.
get it right, you get it wrong.
Yeah.
But how does the instant replay guy miss it so often? I mean, that's the problem with this is you thought that was going to correct it. Now it just makes it worse.
Well, a lot of it, you look at the replay, and it's just another. I mean, here's the thing: you're taking this guy's opinion out of it. Now you're using this guy's opinion. It's still just some guy with 2 eyes and an opinion. But when the video is clear, as it was on that one yesterday, I don't complain about refs. I mean, I'm not a guy. It's like you got to be better than the refs. But the one issue I do take issue with is when you kick a kid out of a game and suspend him for a part of the next game. That's different. You can overcome a 15-yard penalty. Hard to overcome a kid being yanked out of a game. That's not fair to the kid if it's a bad call.
And it wasn't a cheap shot, and it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth,
Well,
all right.
I mean,
Go ahead.
if that's targeting, how else do you want him to hit him?
Yeah, I mean, how do you coach Mosley? Don't do that.
What do you want?
Yeah. All right, last one very quickly. Will Josh Dobbs ever improve as a passer? That's from a Twitter question. He's a junior. I don't see him improving as a passer. Does anyone?
I mean,
Come on, it's okay to say something that's negative.
That bad.
No, I don't.
Okay,
I don't think it's that bad.
No.
I mean, no, I'm not looking at you. No, I
Yeah.
don't think he's going to improve at the time because it's working a lot of times for him, and he's a running kind of guy. So I think if you spend too much time trying to change it up, it's not going to do very much good for you.
Legs overcome all the rest of it.
I'd leave him alone.
Yeah, I think the legs
I think
overcome everything, and so just make sure we start running him first, because anytime he runs better, he seems to pass it better. So let him run, let him be what he be, and as Jacob and I both know, Dooley's old story about being a scorpion. Just be the scorpion and attack the frog.
Be the Scorpion.
Be the Scorpion.
Did he do
One of the
that
great
in a
parables
meeting?
from Derek Dooley.
All right, folks. When we come back, we have some quick slants. We have a very interesting comparison of Mark Richt and Philip Fulmer you're going to want to see, and we are going to be the Scorpion. Come on back on the Sport.
From East Tennessee to Kentucky, no job is too small for Benedict Construction. Electrical work, heating and air installation, even carports and garages. With a reputation for excellence, rely on the custom work of Benedict Construction.